From 1963 to 1983, soul music didn't just entertain. It testified, it rescued, it put broken pieces back together when nothing else could. These 12 tracks share something most people never notice. Number 12, Heartbreaker by Zapp, 1983. Roger Troutman pushed the talk box until it cried, literally wept synthetic tears through circuits and wires that somehow captured every shade of romantic devastation. Heartbreaker hit in 1983 when Zapp was already funk royalty, but this track did something their previous hits hadn't. It made heartbreak feel like a celebration. The synth bass pulses and then releases, mimicking the exact rhythm of sobbing, while Roger's vocoded voice transforms pain into something almost euphoric. That talk box doesn't just sing about heartbreak, it becomes the heartbreak. Electronic soul crying through the speakers. It shot to number 1 R&B for good reason. This was funk music you could heal to, dance floor therapy that let you process the pain while moving through it. Basement parties and bedroom moments alike. This was the soundtrack for putting yourself back together, one robotic syllable at a time. While Roger made technology weep, the next track brought something earthier, pure Philly soul medicine.
You know what breaks my heart a little? Only 1% of the people who watch R&B vinyl are actually subscribed. 99 out of 100 of you keep coming back, vibing with the grooves, feeling the stories, reliving the voices that built soul itself, but you still haven't hit that button. Think about it. You've spent time here, maybe even rediscovered a song that hit you right in the chest, and yet you're walking away before the next track drops. Subscribing costs nothing, not a cent, but it means you'll never miss the moments that remind you who you were when that record first played. R&B vinyl isn't just music, it's memory, it's heritage. It's the pulse that still beats under everything we love. Don't just listen from the sidelines. Be part of the 1% who keep the soul alive. Hit subscribe, stay, groove, and keep the record spinning with us.
Number 11, Sweet Sticky Thing by Ohio Players, 1975. The Ohio Players knew exactly what they were doing when they titled this one Sweet Sticky Thing emerged from their 1975 Honey album. And Satch Satchel's saxophone doesn't just play the melody, it drips like warm syrup over everything, coating the pain in something sweeter. Leroy, Sugarfoot Bonner's vocal performance here became legendary among session musicians. Drummer James Williams watched him nail the same inflections repeatedly, perfection, without losing the raw feeling underneath. The track hit number 1 R&B charts because it understood something crucial. Sometimes healing comes through seduction, through letting yourself feel good again after feeling nothing. Notice how the bass line walks you forward, never letting you dwell, always pulling you toward the next moment. The horn section punctuates like exclamation marks of joy, declaring that sweetness exists even after bitterness. This was make you feel alive soul, late night radio that reminded lonely listeners they weren't dead inside yet. From that funkified comfort to something more desperate, wait until you hear what Curtis Mayfield gave away. Number 10, Gimme Your Love by Barbara Mason, 1973.
Just how much I care. Give me love.
Curtis Mayfield wrote this for the Superfly soundtrack, but Barbara Mason made it her sanctuary.
Time. Keep the faith in all we do, 'cause everything.
She flew to Chicago, walked into Curtis's studio, and recorded it in 30 minutes. But those 30 minutes channeled decades of longing into breathy, vulnerable soul that opened doors Donna Summer would walk through 2 years later.
Give me your love. Give me your love.
Mason's delivery here isn't just singing, it's breathing life back into herself, each exhale a small resurrection.
Your love. Give me your love. Give me your love.
The strings swell and cradle, the rhythm section keeps steady like a heartbeat you can trust, and Barbara's voice alternates between strength and surrender in ways that taught a generation it was okay to need someone. It restored her to the pop top 40 and R&B top 10 because people recognized themselves in that need. Late night confessional soul that wrapped around you like arms when nobody else's would.
I want to be a part of you. Keep our thing up.
This was bedroom music for the brokenhearted, proof that vulnerability could be powerful.
Give me your love. Give me your love.
But one group had already perfected the art of desperate elegance, and they did it with a bass line that refused to quit.
Give me your love. Give me your love. Give me your love.
Number 9, I Want to Get Next to You by Rose Royce, 1976.
Wasting my time. Talk.
Norman Whitfield produced this straight from the Car Wash soundtrack, and that persistent bass line walks like someone who won't take no for an answer.
And I go sailing by whenever your eye
Rose Royce understood the specific pain of wanting someone who doesn't see you.
is low, and I know that I can't.
Calling and calling while they never call back, spending money and emotion on someone who won't spend a moment. But here's the twist. They made that desperation sound gorgeous.
Make me whatever it takes to please you.
The strings build and cascade while the rhythm section maintains perfect pocket, creating this tension between hopeless longing and unshakable groove. It became their second top 10 pop hit because everybody's been that person, the one who keeps trying when logic says stop.
And girl, you make me feel so insecure.
Gwen Dickey's vocals that carry both heartache and dignity, refusing to sound pathetic, even while admitting the most pathetic feelings.
Come true, and I wanna get next to you.
This was car radio catharsis, the song you played while deciding whether to make that call one more time.
Girl, I'm spending my
The track kept you company in your worst decisions while somehow making those decisions feel noble.
time blowing my mind. Girl, my money.
Speaking of nobility and vulnerability, a 13-year-old was about to teach the world how it's done. Number 8, I Want to Be Where You Are by Michael Jackson, 1972. Michael was only 13 when he recorded this, but the vocal maturity made grown professionals stop and reconsider everything they knew about soul singing. Leon Ware and Arthur Ross wrote it specifically for Michael's range, and he took it to number 2 R&B while making it look effortless. The Motown session musicians laid down that signature groove. James Jamerson's bass, those trademark strings, but Michael's voice is what transforms longing into something transcendent. He doesn't just want to be where you are, he needs it with a desperation that somehow sounds joyful, turning yearning into celebration. This became one of Jackson's most covered songs because that vulnerability resonates across decades. The Fugees knew it, Marvin Gaye knew it, and anyone who's ever missed someone understands it immediately. Notice the way the arrangement breathes, giving Michael space to add those spontaneous inflections that became his signature.
Did I leave your mind when I was gone?
Early morning soul that made solitude feel less lonely. Proof that sometimes the healing comes just from expressing what you feel. From that youthful ache to something more seasoned, wait for the woman who'd never felt this before. Number 7, Never Knew Love Like This Before by Stephanie Mills, 1980. Stephanie Mills walked into 1980 with a career, but no signature.
'Cause I never knew love like this before.
James M. Toome and Reggie Lucas handed her this song inspired by the birth of Lucas's daughter, and everything changed.
You're the one I'm living for.
Those opening chords shimmer like revelation. Then Stephanie's voice enters with the kind of wonder that only comes from genuine surprise.
Now I'm lonely, nevermore.
She really hadn't known love like this before, and you hear the discovery happening in real time.
And I'll never let you go.
The track peaked at number 6 pop, but conquered something bigger than charts. It became the soundtrack for people finding hope they'd stopped believing in. It won dual Grammys for Best R&B Song and Best Female R&B Vocal, beating Aretha and Diana Ross because the authenticity couldn't be denied. The disco strings build without overwhelming. The rhythm section drives without dominating, and Stephanie floats above it all like someone who just learned they can fly. This was redemption music. Late night radio for anyone who'd been hurt so many times they'd forgotten what safe felt like.
You are my love like this, I know.
The way she stretches certain phrases, you can hear her not wanting the feeling to end.
Now I'm lonely, nevermore. Since you
While Stephanie celebrated newfound love, another group had perfected the art of keeping it.
what a surprise, 'cause I never.
Number 6, Reach Out, I'll Be There by Four Tops, 1960s. Holland Dozier Holland pushed Levi Stubbs so high in his vocal range that you can hear him almost breaking. And and that's exactly what they wanted. Duke Fakir later explained they needed that cry, that hunger, that wailing desperation, and Stubbs delivered something that straddles the line between singing and screaming. Those opening flutes flutter like panic. Then the bass drum hits like a heartbeat trying to restart. And when Levi's voice enters, it's not asking for help, it's demanding salvation. The track hit number 1 on both pop and R&B charts for 2 weeks in October 1966, becoming Motown's second UK chart topper. But here's the secret. Arranger Paul Reiser used timpani mallets on a tambourine head to create that distinctive drum pattern, an accident that became iconic. The song scared the Four Tops so badly they begged Berry Gordy not to release it.
Just look over your shoulder.
They were wrong. This became their signature, the song people reached for when drowning felt imminent, when reaching out was the only option left. Studio crafted urgency that became real-life rescue music. But before this intensity, Motown had already figured out how to turn heat into healing. Number 5, Heat Wave by Martha and the Vandellas, 1963. Holland Dozier Holland wrote this during a sweltering Detroit summer, and Martha Reeves sang it like someone trying to cool down by surrendering to the fever. That baritone sax from Mike Terry doesn't just play. It growls and moans through the track, creating the sonic equivalent of humid air that won't move. The song shot to number 1 R&B and number 4 pop because it understood something essential. Sometimes you heal by leaning into what's burning you up instead of running from it. Martha's voice carries both power and vulnerability, commanding you to pay attention while admitting she's vulnerable to the same heat she's singing about. Notice how the backing vocals punctuate without overwhelming, how the rhythm section keeps perfect pocket while the horns stab in for emphasis. This was summer party soul that worked year-round because the heat wasn't just weather, it was desire, frustration, need, everything that makes you feel alive when numbness threatens. Radio weather reports used it as their soundtrack as temperatures rose that early summer, blurring the line between literal and emotional heat. From this burning intensity to jubilation that became revolution. Number 4, Dancing in the Street by Martha and the Vandellas, 1964. Marvin Gaye, Mickey Stevenson, and Ivy Jo Hunter wrote this during the height of civil rights upheaval, and whether or not they intended it, the song became both celebration and call to action. Martha Reeves belts that opening line, calling out around the world with enough urgency to make you believe the world might actually answer. Those neighborhood kids weren't studio singers. They literally pulled them in off the street for those "hey" shouts, and that raw energy became the song's secret weapon. The track peaked at number 2 pop, blocked by Manfred Mann's Do Wah Diddy Diddy, but it claimed something bigger than chart position. This became the anthem for a moment when dancing in the street felt like both escape and resistance. When moving your body became a declaration of survival. Marvin Gaye played drums on this session, James Jamerson held down the bass, and the Funk Brothers created something that made people stop talking and start moving. The song name-checks cities, Chicago, New Orleans, New York City, not just as locations but as communities, as people choosing joy despite everything trying to take it away. Basement party music that carried weight beyond any party. While Martha made Revolution sound joyful, Philadelphia session musicians were about to make history sound like home. Number 3, TSOP by MFSB, EFT at the 3 Degrees, 1974. Gamble and Huff needed a theme for Soul Train, so they gathered 30 session musicians they'd named Mother, Father, Sister, Brother, and let them create what would become the sound of Philadelphia itself. Those opening strings don't just play, they announce arrival, declaring that something important is about to happen. The 3 Degrees add vocals so brief they're almost subliminal, singing people all over the world and let's get it on, it's time to get down. But that's enough. The message is the groove itself. This became the first television theme to hit number 1 on both pop and R&B charts, and it won the Grammy for Best R&B Instrumental Performance because even with vocals, it's essentially an instrumental meditation on joy. That 4-on-the-floor disco beat with 16th notes on the hi-hat created a template that dozens of hits would follow. MFSB backed the OJs on Love Train the year before, so they knew how to make healing sound like a party. Saturday afternoon television that became Sunday morning spiritual, proof that sometimes the most healing thing is a groove that refuses to let you sit still. But before disco became medicine, there was an actual inferno to dance through. Number 2, Disco Inferno, Love Train by the OJs, 1972.
Don't you know that it's time to get on board?
Kenny Gamble wrote the lyrics in 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes channeled something the world was desperate to hear. Love Train entered the charts on January 27, 1973, the exact same day the Paris Peace Accords were signed, and peaked at number 1 pop and R&B because timing isn't just luck, it's resonance. Eddie Levert later said, it felt like destiny, like the lyrics came from somewhere beyond them and they were just the delivery system. MFSB provided that signature Philly sound, lush strings, crisp horns, that unstoppable groove. And the OJs wrote it like they were actually conducting a train to salvation. The song name checks countries having human rights struggles, England, Russia, China, Egypt, Israel, not to judge, but to invite, to say there's room on this train for everyone ready to try something different.
Start a love train, love train.
This became their first and only #1 pop hit, inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame because it captured a moment when healing felt possible if enough people would just get on board. The hand claps and the woo-woo became communal participation, turning listeners into passengers, isolation into journey. Late night soul that made tomorrow feel reachable. Proof that sometimes the healing comes from believing we're all going somewhere better together.